M. Night Shyamalan, you can take him or leave him as a writer-director. Now I have my next review, his newest film called Split, starring James McAvoy. Next. Split, and I mentioned it was starred James McAvoy. So James McAvoy, pretty much how they showed it in the previews, it's pretty much the title means split personalities. He has these 23 different personalities. Unfortunately, they all don't show up, they don't all surface, unfortunately, but there are ways you can kind of tell. There's like little snippets here and there. You could say, oh, I know how he has this, he has that, he has this. It focuses on maybe about, I don't know, 3-4 different kind of characters. David and Patricia, who are kind of your main villains on the whole thing here. A character named Barry, who I think is supposed to be one of the very first ones. Hedrick, who is a 9-year-old boy that I'll get to in a little bit here. So the film actually starts off, there's a little birthday party going on. Next thing you know, these girls go in the cart you see in the trailer. Here comes McAvoy's character and knocks them all out. And the thing is that he actually has them in like a basement or something like that. He has them all in this one little room here. And then what happens is that at one point, one of the girls finds a way to escape through a venting shaft and all that, and of course he ends up McAvoy's character ends up catching her at one point, locks her up in the room. Next thing you know, he locks up another character here. Now, I mentioned about some of the characters here. I mentioned David. He is such a clean freak, I gotta say. Every time that they get any piece of little clothing or a crumb or anything, you got to take off your shirt or your pants over this. It's crazy. Patricia, you don't see a whole lot of her. I would love to see a little bit more of her, I gotta be honest. Barry, it seemed like you see him more close to the beginning of the film, and then he kind of gets wiped out to a point. And then Hedrick, I mentioned about the 9-year-old boy. I have never believed that James McAvoy can actually go from Professor X to all the X-Men films to him playing this 9-year-old boy. So freaking creepy, I gotta say. But do I recommend this film? First off, I do want to say one thing. I actually drove in a lot of rain and snow and mix. Okay, first off, is any movie worth my life? Well, you know what, you want to do something like this? I think it is, but no, truthfully, it really isn't. So nobody, take me seriously on that. Do I recommend this film? Oh, hell yes, absolutely. This is a great film. I was very surprised. M. Night, you won me over again. If you get stuff like this, continue to do stuff like this, it was really good. Like I said, a little bit of griping. I mentioned about the character Patricia. You only see her once or twice. I wish I would have saw a little bit more of her. Again, lengthwise, I felt like that they could have cut maybe 10-15 minutes out of this, because towards the end, before the big surprise rolls around, I was like, it would have been a lot better if you cut it about 10-15 minutes of that. The surprise was, to a point, a letdown. There were some really cool things how it executed, like M. Night can really do, and then it kind of was, unfortunately, a letdown the way it ended. There was probably maybe 1 or 2 small things I liked about the ending, but overall I was like, oh, come on, M. Night, you could do better. You were the Sixth Sense director, and Unbreakable, and even to a point, Signs with Mel Gibson. Come on, you bring that back. But I liked it because it was only 5 actors that were in this entire film. McAvoy, these 3 girls that he kidnapped, and his therapist. Now, of course, M. Night always has to push himself in his own movies here, which always bothered me. But people still compare him, that I know of, to Alfred Hitchcock. Why? Hitchcock was great. You really have fallen down many, many times, okay? But this one, I gotta say, you picked yourself up. Good job. Guys, go see this movie. This is my review of Split with James McAvoy. Thank you guys so much, and as always, stay awesome.